Welcome to Radiant PT, where we discuss all things pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum. My name is Caitlin Sue. I'm a doctor of physical therapy specializing in pelvic health. Let's dive in. Today we're going to talk about the 3 biggest exercise pitfalls that might be tripping you up during pregnancy. In my time working with pregnant people, I've seen all sorts of attitudes about fitness, from those who don't do any purposeful movement to those whose entire identity is wrapped up in their running or in their CrossFit practice. Today we're going to talk about why exercise is so important during pregnancy, the 3 types of exercise that you need to be doing, and the 3 biggest mistakes that I see in the exercise routines of my clients. During pregnancy, our body undergoes some huge changes. As your belly and your baby grow, we start to see postural changes happening from head to toe. Your entire center of gravity moves forward, which can really alter your balance. Most people end up developing an anterior or a forward tilted pelvis to compensate. And because of that, the curvature of your spine becomes more pronounced, causing more stress on your neck, your upper back, and your lower back. Your feet actually start to pronate more, especially as you start to gain more weight. This increases internal rotation up the entire leg, altering the position of your hips and your pelvis. It can also cause that pregnancy waddle. Your pelvic floor muscles and your whole abdominal wall are lengthened, and many muscles around your hips are actually shortened. You gain on average somewhere between 25 and 40 pounds, and so every movement that you make becomes more of an exertion on your cardiovascular system. Due to hormones, the ligaments that make up your joints actually become looser and more hypermobile. This is very important for childbirth, but during pregnancy, it requires more from your muscles to be able to compensate for that laxity and stabilize. Your blood volume is actually doubled, and your heart is working overtime to pump all that oxygenated blood to the placenta and the baby. So yeah, your body is doing a lot. As you can see, these changes affect everything up and down the kinetic chain, affecting multiple systems in your body from head to toe. So in order to support our body, to maximize our chances of a more comfortable pregnancy, and to decrease our risk of injury like a more severe DRA or pelvic girdle pain, we need to address all of these issues by doing the main 3 types of exercise. Number 1, we need to prioritize strength training first. Muscle strength picks up the slack from our hypermobile joints and supports all of those different areas of the body that are under increased stress. In particular, strengthening our abdominal muscles, our core, and our pelvic floor is so important for supporting our posture, for pushing during childbirth, and for healing postpartum. Second, cardiovascular exercise, probably my least favorite, is also extremely important. It makes sure that our heart can take on that extra load of pumping extra blood to the placenta and the baby, as well as that additional exertion from just carrying extra weight around. And finally, number 3 is flexibility work. This helps to address tight or imbalanced muscles that are compensating in our day-to-day life, and those muscles are also typically the source of our aches and pains during pregnancy. So now that you know what you should be doing, here's 3 mistakes that you might be making in your exercise routine and how to adapt them for a more comfortable pregnancy. Okay, so the first and one of the biggest pitfalls that I see in my clients is doing just one type of exercise and neglecting the other 2. This might look like the yogi, who's super flexible, but is a little lacking in strength and stability. Prenatal yoga classes in particular tend to be very gentle and not push too hard on either the cardio or the strength front. The result is these women who love doing yoga every day can end up with hypermobile joints that don't have a lot of muscular stability to back them up, and they can end up with things like pelvic girdle pain, including pubic symphysis dysfunction or sacroiliac joint dysfunction. The second big pitfall that I see all the time is not modifying when an exercise isn't working for you anymore. I have a saying, pregnancy is temporary, but postpartum is forever. It can be really hard to check your ego and to back down from an exercise that you feel like you should be able to do, even when your body is starting to give you those signs to slow down. Maybe, for example, you're a runner You never miss a day. It is your therapy. It's what makes you feel good. But as you're getting later in that second trimester, you're starting to feel a little bit of pressure, or you're having some leaking. Maybe your low back or your knee is starting to bug you. Please don't risk a long-term injury for the sake of trying to maintain some sort of status quo or compete with yourself. Protect your body now in this moment. Focus on cross-training, and I promise you're gonna get back to your normal routine soon. The third big pitfall that I see with prenatal exercise is being afraid of movement. I have so many clients who tell me that they just haven't gotten a straight answer from their doctor about what is safe to do, or the advice that they're getting online is so conflicting that they just freeze up and end up doing nothing. But we need movement during pregnancy. We need it to feel good in our bodies, prep for birth, and prepare for healing postpartum. Instead of avoiding cardio or avoiding core exercise because somebody told you weren't supposed to do it, seek out reliable sources that show you how to do it safely. I've got content over on my Instagram page, as do so many PTs and qualified prenatal specialists. Now, here's a couple of things that you do want to pay attention to. Don't start a new exercise routine during pregnancy that either has a really high technical skill level or a high risk of an impact injury or falling. Anything like bouldering or Olympic lifts, now's not the time. Monitor your prenatal exercise red flags. These include leaking, pressure, pain, and abdominal coning or doming. You can check out my last video for lots more information on DRA. You don't need to measure your heart rate or keep it under a specific number. You can get your heart rate up, but you still want to be able to talk. This isn't the time for high intensity or maximum intensity intervals. Use your best judgment and use your intuition. If you need a little bit more guidance, seek out a pelvic floor PT. We can really help you figure out what's right for your body in that moment. Do you have questions about any of these pitfalls? Curious about what you can do during pregnancy or even preconception to protect your body against some of these changes? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and come check me out over on Instagram as well. My handle is radiant.pt and I'll link it in the description box. I'm here to help, so let me know what topics you're interested in me covering next. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.